I know God is watching me. I know God is listening. I know God is by my side. I know that everything I'm doing now is going on record. If you're conscious of that every time, if you have conviction of that every time, what you need to be conscious of, the conviction you ought to have, the way you ought to live your life, the ground, the basis, and the foundation by which you live your life, the conviction you ought to have, and the mind you ought to have, and the knowledge you ought to have. We're looking at 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1. I charge thee therefore before God, I charge thee therefore before the Almighty, I charge you therefore before His Majesty, I charge you therefore before the great Judge of heaven and earth. That means then, you know that is in the presence of the Lord. Presence of the Lord. Don't ever forget that before God, the challenge you have, and the conviction you have, and the charge you have is in the presence of that God. And that's a conviction that God wanted everyone that ever followed Him to have. It says, you're walking before me, you're living before me, you're acting before me, you're doing that before me, you're laboring before me, you're shining before me, everything you're doing before Him in His presence. Genesis chapter 17 verse 1. Genesis chapter 17, I'm reading from verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk, tell me, walk before me, walk in my presence. Sarah will not always be there, I'll always be there. And the king of Gerar will not always be there, I will always be there. And the friends and the enemies and the people that may know you, they may not always be with you. There are times you'll think you are alone. There are times you'll think you are by yourself. But I'm with you all the time. I feel the earth, I feel the heaven. Everything you do, every step you take, every direction you go, every corner you bend, every crossroad you find yourself, I'm there. Walk in my presence. Walk before me and be thou perfect.